Eddie Lara. Why am I watching his YouTube? My name's Eddie Lara. I don't have to work. Not because I can't find a job, but because I actually don't need a job. I actually was getting paid handsomely as a nurse in the Bay Area, making about 100, 110 an hour. That's like average in the Bay Area. If you're making less as a nurse, move to the Bay Area. But yeah, I don't have to work now, and I'm gonna, the whole purpose of this YouTube video series is to kind of explain how I got here. I'm 33. Let's just start from the beginning. I used to be a amateur bodybuilder. I say amateur because I placed top 6 in my first show, and that sounds very impressive, but it was 6 out of 7. So take what you want from that. I didn't make money competing in bodybuilding. I made money in coaching. And then once I became a nurse, I made a lot more money in coaching because I could charge more. So I made about 200K nursing, and I made more than that in coaching. So, calculate that as you may. I made good money. So how I got to the point where I am at now is I'm 33, and all my 20s I spent working. Like, I lived off my nursing income, and I did coaching on top of that, and I invested all my coaching income. When I say like I lived off nursing income, like, keep in mind I was making 100, 110 an hour, so it's not like I was like eating beans and rice, right? Like, I was eating grass-fed steaks and all these things, and living in a nice apartment. But I always rented. I never bought a house. I always bought apartments. So my first apartment was a duplex. The next one was a fourplex, and the one more recently was another fourplex. So a total of 10 units, $5 million of real estate under my name. And that sounds impressive until I tell you it's about 3.8 million in debt, also in my name. So the beautiful thing about that, because our apartments, is I'm not paying that. Like, I haven't paid anything since I bought the locations. They are being paid by tenants. So all my 20s worked, invested all my coaching income, bought real estate, which allows for wonderful tax benefits, which I'll go over in other videos, but also gives you a foundation, kind of like allows me to do the next thing, which I invested in stocks and crypto and heavily invested. I was able to do that because I kind of had a foundation of, worst case, I could always rent to myself, and I could always, if I didn't have an income, I could always live for free in one of my apartments. So that was always kind of the foundation piece of my investing strategy. Looking back at it now, obviously I don't know what I'm doing when in the middle of it. I'm just doing what's best with the information I have at the time, and invested in stocks and crypto after that, made some money, and now I don't really have to work. So now I left my full-time job and posting YouTube videos. So I'm gonna share kind of best practices of what I did. The whole point of this is to share with people that are watching, kind of give you a layout of what I did, the philosophy and the mindset behind it, and how it can hopefully apply to you guys. The target audience, I guess, for my YouTube is actually not you. It's specifically me when I was trying to figure out money and figure out what to invest in, what to do with my life. Specifically 18 to 23, that's when I would say I would have loved a YouTube channel that told me about business and income and investing. So that's specifically who I'm doing this for, myself. But feel free to watch, feel free to tag along. All right, hope you enjoyed, hope you see how raw and unprofessional this is, and take something out of it.